Part 1. Summary and Review. Summary. Daniel Levitin's Successful Aging is an incredibly detailed, highly technical look at the process of aging from a neurological standpoint, including everything we know about the causes of aging and potential cures. The book doesn't just provide helpful tips on how to best counteract the aging process, but rather guides the reader through the underlying causes for a more comprehensive understanding of the myriad factors at play. At over 500 pages, the book is a veritable tome of information divided into three main sections. The first section, and the bulk of the book at over 200 pages, is a deep dive into neurological processes from birth to death and how there are numerous different factors that affect our lives and well-being as we age, many of which started before we were born. The section is broken into 7 parts: individual difference and personality, memory and your sense of you, perception, intelligence, emotion and motivation, social factors, and pain. In each section you learn everything modern science knows about how the brain works, such as why we are who we are, how memories are formed and destroyed, how we experience pain differently, and how each and every one of these integral pieces is affected by aging in our bodies and brains. Throughout the book, Levitin contends that there is a triad of influences on our development as humans: genes, culture, and opportunity. Everyone has a certain genetic disposition to certain traits, but those genes and traits will express themselves differently depending on your culture and your experiences. A child who grew up in a loving, supportive household will be a much different adult neurologically speaking than someone with identical DNA who received much less motherly attention, and the latter will have a measurably shorter lifespan. A child who grew up in a household that valued education will have a similarly different gene expression than one who grew up in a family of illiterate farmers. In fact, these differences start from the day we are born, with the first 24 months being critical to healthy neurological development. If we don't forge certain neural pathways from the very beginning, we may lose the opportunity to make them later. And this has dire consequences when we're older, which are revisited again and again throughout the book. Levitin also provides a detailed look into how memory works, how it changes as we age, and why certain types of memory never seem to fade, while others can start going at any time. He also talks about wisdom, perception, hearing, and sight, some of which we get more of and some of which start to dissipate in old age. Though we may begin to perceive less with old age, through decline of vision and hearing, our ability to predict based on a lifetime of experience increases. If you see the sentence, "Look over there," you instantly know that LCCK is meant to say, "look." The brain is incredibly efficient in these predictions, and the older you are, the better you become at filling in the blanks. Of course, this survival mechanism can also lead to faulty memories when there are more blanks to fill in.